Hi, I'm John Thompson, owner of SoCal Construction and Design. We specialize in home remodeling in San Diego, and with 2 decades of experience, we take pride in our high rate of customer satisfaction. This video is part of a video tips series, and in this video, I'm going to cover what are the 8 most common mistakes to avoid when remodeling your home. Number 1 is having a budget and then bending from the budget. Before you start a project, make sure that you have the budget to see it through. But once you get that project going, the most important thing is do not keep approving change orders simply because someone has a new idea. As the process goes, certainly have a great idea, and every now and then a good idea is worth changing on the plan. But if you really start bending from your budget, sometimes it becomes hard to know where to actually draw the line. Number 2 is always be prepared for the unexpected. A lot of times, a big mistake that's made is that people think that there's nothing wrong with their house because they have a fairly new home. But most of the time, all that means is that no one's lived in it long enough to find out what all the problems are in it. Inevitably, something will go awry when you're remodeling a home. Sometimes you'll knock out a wall and find termites. Other times, you'll find an entire kitchen needs to be rewired. Being unprepared for the unexpected causes stress in several ways. Home remodeling is an emotional process anyways, for both the homeowner and the contractor. But if you're not prepared and suddenly you have a big change order, like rewiring an entire kitchen, that could cause a lot of stress and maybe even a little bit of tension between the homeowner and the contractor. It may even slow the process down. Number 3 is ignoring permits. Although obtaining proper permits can oftentimes be a tedious part of the remodel, it's incredibly important and it's done for a reason. Permits aren't just a way to keep tabs on what work's being performed by the city. It's for the homeowner's safety also. Although there's contractors out there that have a general contractor's license, there are unfortunately a lot of them that do not perform best practices in the construction industry. Sometimes certain aspects may slip from a contractor's attention to detail. That's what a city inspector is for. A city inspector or building inspector is somebody who comes in and just makes sure and verifies that everything is done correctly for the homeowner's safety. Number 4 is following trends. Redesigning your home based on the trend is probably one of the biggest mistakes a lot of people make. Anything popular today probably won't be popular in 10 years from now or even 5. So I would say don't bother getting hung up on what's trendy right now or what you see a lot of people doing in their homes. It's probably a good idea to invest something a little more classic, something that'll stand the test of time is what you want. Number 5 is being cheap. Don't overhaul your home and tear it down because you decide to rebuild it and then just use cheap materials. A lot of times it really holds true that what you get is what you pay for. If you tear out some old tiles and replace them with some cheesy tiles that look great but aren't really that sturdy, you're going to end up having to rip those loose and reinstall new tiles in just 5 years or so, because the quality wasn't there and those tiles started to chip or break. My suggestion is, if you can't afford to remodel, just save your money until you can. Number 6, not going green. Investing in ENERGY STAR rated appliances and materials is a smart move when remodeling. Although they're more expensive, they'll save you money in the long run. Not only do green products save on energy bills right now, but should you decide to sell your home, it would sell for a higher price than most homes with standard appliances and materials. Number 7, don't over-improve on your home. Keep your remodel consistent with the rest of your neighborhood. No one's going to pay $300,000 for a home in an area where homes are selling for $200,000. Sometimes you can actually over-improve a house or overbuild for your area. Adding too much square footage would be one example, or spending a lot of money on high-end finishes in an area where mid-range finishes are being used. Another example would be if everyone in your neighborhood has Formica or laminate countertops and you put in granite countertops, well, you just went over the top. Number 8, be careful of do-it-yourselfers. This could be a huge mistake. A lot of the time, homeowners think that they can take on a project by themselves, but then they find out that they don't have the right tools or they don't have the right training, and they actually end up doing more harm than good. You also don't want to get halfway through a project if you don't know how to finish the job. For big jobs, just call a professional. I hope this information was valuable to you, and I look forward to our next video. Until then, please stay in touch with us on Facebook and Twitter. Thank you.